Yeah, the Philadelphia Phillies need to fix their bullpen. And they got a little closer in that area, signing David Robertson the other day, 2-year deal. Tony Del Grasso is here to talk about. Talk about it. I am a BedQ. I am black again, dude. I don't know what's going on with me.
I don't know, man. I love to see your beautiful face. It's unfortunate.
But yeah, let's talk about this deal, man. You bring David Robertson in. Obviously, the market was pretty rich with closers this offseason, and they settled with David Robertson. What do you think of the move?
I like this deal a lot. I really, really do. I know I've been critical this year of a couple of Phillies moves, but I really, really like this deal. He's pretty much exactly the type of guy that they needed in the bullpen. Over the last 8, 9 years, he's been like crazy consistent, and he's really, really good. He's, I would say, one step below an elite level type reliever, but he's a guy you could use in any situation. He has closed before. But one of the things that's great about him is he doesn't care if he pitches in the sixth, seventh, eighth, or ninth. He's Phillies are. I still think are going to go basically with the philosophy that they're not really going to name a closer. They're
Mhm.
not really guys with defined roles. They're just going to pick and choose and go with the matchups after they pull the starter. And Robertson seems to buy that completely. So in my opinion, this is great. In my opinion, there's still like a dozen guys out there that I think would make the Phillies bullpen go from potentially being really good to great. Because right now with him and Dominguez, and then you throw in guys like Arano and some of the other guys that have in there Neris and whatnot, you could be looking at potentially a really really good bullpen if they add say an Ottavino or a Kimbrel or Oliver Perez, Zach Britton. There's a number of guys still out there that you could get on a similar deal to Robertson. I mean, 2 years, $23 million. That's nothing, honestly, to the Phillies. Like, come on, grab another guy like this, and then you're talking about a really, really good bullpen.
Yeah, yeah. Some of the free agent names that were out there: Andrew Miller, Zach Britton, Craig Kimbrell, and man, I'm in Eagles mode. And the Phillies settle with David Robertson. And you talk about the progressiveness of Gabe Kapler and what he wants to do with that bullpen. David Robertson's very flexible. He doesn't care. Unlike Craig Kimbrell, who's like, all right, I want to be the closer. I want to pitch in the ninth inning. Well, over the last 2 seasons, David Robertson has not cared where he's pitching. So he's pitched in the sixth inning 15 times, seventh inning 36 times, eighth inning 50 times, 23 multi-inning appearances, and 30 appearances with runners on base. So he's the guy that's going to put out the fire.
Right. He's the guy you put in high leverage situation. He's the guy you put in the big moments. He doesn't care what inning it is. He just wants it to be a big spot, and he wants to have the biggest impact in the game. And to me, you can't ask for more, in an athlete than that.
Yeah. And, I brought up some of the names like Andrew Miller, Zach Britton. Phillies could have really used a lefty reliever. But if you want to think a little bit outside the box here, Robertson's actually a little bit tougher on lefties than he is on righties. So if you look at the splits, lefties 188, 268, 278, and then the righties 222, 302, 364. He's tougher on lefties.
Yeah, and Matt Klentak even mentioned that was one of the factors in signing him. They've been looking to add a lefty in general, but when they say that, they're really just looking for guys who get out left-handed batters, and Robertson fits the bill, even though he throws the ball right-handed. I wouldn't completely push out the idea that they're done adding the bullpen. Like I said, if they add one more guy of this caliber, that really puts the bullpen over the top in terms of potential, at least in my opinion. So I hope they add another guy like this, whether that be a Britton or Oliver Perez to fit that left-handed guy. Who knows? I would also like to say before it kind of slips my mind here for a second because I forgot to mention this. I am irked about the Kikuchi thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I,
Go on about that.
all right, yeah.
I
So
know you wanted him.
yeah, the Phillies have been mentioning. Honestly, it feels like for 2 years now how they want balance in the rotation and they want a left-handed pitcher, and they really haven't had a left-handed pitcher in a few years now. Well, Kikuchi was the guy. They didn't get what's his face Corbin, which I feel like was probably a good thing. They
It
probably
was
got
better off they didn't get him. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're probably not. Who knows about Dallas Keuchel? I mean, I don't want to give him $100 million, so that's probably a good thing to stay away from. To me, Kikuchi was the guy. He's significantly younger than both of those guys. The Mariners got him for I think 40 some million guaranteed. It could potentially go to 50 some million if it goes to a fourth year. Like that's not a lot of money for a guy who is potentially at least a number 3 type starter. He's going to be 27 this year. Like Kikuchi was the guy. Kikuchi was the starter you wanted, and now at this point, it's looking like they might not even add a starter at all this offseason, or at least a starter of you know 3 type status or higher. So
Yeah.
I'm really kind of irked that they didn't even seem to be in much on the Kikuchi thing.
Yeah. You brought up the word consistency earlier in the show when talking about David Robertson. And it's interesting you bring that up because sometimes with relievers, you never know what you're going to get year in year out. One year you might go, 4.5 ERA, but the next year you're going sub 2. Well, with David Robertson, it tends to stay where it stays. So since 2011, ERA has never risen above 3.47, WHIP never above 1.36. He's the only pitcher ever to average at least 10 strikeouts per 9 innings in each of his first 11 major league seasons. So, the model consistency right there.
Yeah, and he's plays a position that is kind of known for its volatility. I mean, even some of the best of all time have had up and down type careers when it comes to guys who pitch late in ball games. So the fact that he's been as consistent as he has, pretty much throughout his entire career, is pretty impressive and just kind of comforting. You have another veteran guy back there. You know you're going to get.
Yeah, yeah, because we even saw it with Brad Lidge, 2008, the perfect season, and then the year after, I believe it was, a little bit complete opposite, if I remember.
Right, right.
Yeah. So we touched on Sir Anthony Dominguez, Hector Neris a little bit. Now, you don't really think there's going to be a closer, and I kind of agree with you there. Um, how do you think that's going to kind of play out? Are they going to kind of play the matchups in the ninth inning? Does David Robertson kind of pitch the ninth when there's more lefties? Sir Anthony maybe the closer when there's more righties? What do you think?
Yeah, like I said, I think it'll probably just kind of be matchup by matchup, and it'll depend on who's coming up in the eighth, who's coming up in the ninth. If their 3, 4, 5 guys are coming up in the ninth, and all 3 of them are right-handed, maybe they go with Sir Anthony in the eighth, and then in the ninth, say it's 2 lefties, 6, 7, 8, they go with Robertson or whatever the case may be. I feel like they might never actually come out and name a closer. But I would imagine as it stands today, it'll probably be Dominguez and Robertson getting the bulk of the eighth and ninth. But again, it's just going to go down to matchups, and don't count out guys like Victor Arano,
Yeah.
who very well could take a huge step up this year and become maybe in that echelon of Robertson and Dominguez.
All right, let's move on to Bryce Harper and Manny Machado sweepstakes. How are you feeling about it?
I feel like I flip flop every time. I think last time I said I feel like they're more likely to get Machado. Now I feel like maybe it's more likely to be Harper again. I've always kind of felt it was Harper all along, even though all the tea leaves and the Phillies are connection with Machado really probably should have made me say Machado all along. I don't know. Bottom line is nobody knows. All the stuff you hear is basically BS. And unfortunately, I think we're still probably a long way away from either of these guys making a decision. The only thing I am confident about is I do still strongly believe that the Phillies will end up with one of the two.
Yeah. Obviously the Dodgers made that big trade the other week, which, kind of made me think maybe Bryce Harper's going to LA. We'll see about that. The Yankees pick up Troy Tulowitzki, but I don't think that would derive them from going after Manny Machado either. So we'll see. A lot of pieces still to fall. We might not get our answer for a pretty long time. So lots of anxiety.
Yeah, and now the new rumor is the Nationals have upped their offer from their original 10-year, $300 million. They supposedly they've significantly upped it. What does that mean? 10 years, $350 million. I don't know. So there's it now. Again, that could all be bullshit to make the Phillies offer go up more. Who knows? I do know I originally said that I thought Harper was going to get well over $400 million, maybe even closer to $500 million.
Yeah.
I think most people think I'm crazy about that, but it's going to be interesting these numbers, because what I do know is that I would be shocked if either of these guys take anything less than Stanton's numbers. So Stanton got 325, which means when you start getting into bidding wars, that's why I think these guys are going to get close to 400.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you on the 400. I think 400 is definitely possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rich men, regardless.
Yeah. All right. I think that's pretty much it. Just a short show here. I guess as we do final thoughts here, you think the Eagles got a chance? You think they're going to win in Chicago?
Oh, they got a chance.
Yes.
Chance. Yeah.
Yes. Are they going to win?
Oh, do you want me to actually make a prediction?
Yeah, sure.
Well, I said with Albert earlier, I picked the Bears. So I guess that means on this one I'll pick the Eagles.
Well, I'm picking the Eagles. I got 24-23. Cody Parkey's gonna miss one to the right at the end at the horn. He's gonna Scott Norwell it.
Oh wow, that'd be dramatic. I don't know. I can't understand this Eagles team at all for the life of me. Like,
yeah, I think they figured it out though. I think the last month I think they figured it out. They're like third in points per game. Defense is on fire.
I hope you're right. It'd be nice to have another little run this year.
Yeah, it would be. All right, that's Tony Del Grasso. I'm Adrian Fedke. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. Let us know below in the comments section what you think of the David Robertson move. We're out of here. Peace.
Later.